Hey, welcome back to Score on Business. Remember, check out scorenashville.org. And our next guest is Rob Bellenfant. Rob, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I'll tell you, I'm really excited about you being here because the business leaders and organization leaders who are in my age range and older than your age range are really not sure how to lead the millennial generation. And I do want to remind everyone who's my age, our parents thought we were pretty crazy our own selves. So just remember how we were viewed. So Rob is the founder and CEO of Technology Advice. They are a company connecting technology buyers and sellers. He's been an entrepreneur since he was way young.
Yeah.
Seven?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, check this out. In Nashville, his company contributes 55 jobs to the Nashville economy. You're 27 years old.
Yes, sir.
You're a rock star. Okay, so when hiring millennials, what do you look for and what do you screen for?
You know, I think when you're hiring millennials, it's similar to hiring anybody in any generation, and you're looking for people who have gone through life up until this point and have challenged themselves. And so people who have intentionally put themselves in uncomfortable situations to allow themselves to grow, both as an individual and a professional. And so an example of that, if you're hiring somebody who's just out of school, for example, you know, did they participate in sports teams, or in clubs or other extracurricular activities? Did they work in a job? You know, so were they forced to support themselves at all, or were they maybe always, you know, a little more focused on the social aspect of school or life of their life up until this point? So, you know, we look for folks that at our business specifically want to grow and challenge themselves and challenge those that they work with, and so we just look for evidence of that up until this point.
Mm-hmm. And how do you use behavioral type questions, like give me an example of when you did X or Y?
Yeah, we do. So you know, we also look for folks that don't get defensive. So
yeah, I definitely would like to get you to talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so you know, an example is maybe a couple of 30 minutes during the interview, or after you've had the interview for 30 minutes, you're giving the interviewee feedback. So you just tell them what you think about the interview so far. So, you know, I might say to you, Pete, hey Pete, you know, this interview is going very well. I really appreciate the time you spent with me. Here's my feedback, and here are my concerns with you as a candidate up until this point. And look at their reaction. You know, are they going to get defensive, or are they going to use that as an opportunity to show you, you know, why your opinions or why what you've collected as far as concerns might be wrong? You know, and so you just kind of look at the attitude and the body language of that person in their response to that question.
I think that's a brilliant way to handle it, and I think that's really good to let them know and kind of see what they do with that.
Yeah, and a lot of people leave interviews not knowing where they stand, and as a millennial, you really like to know where you stand, and you really want that feedback. And some people don't like the feedback once they receive it, obviously, and maybe those aren't the people that you want to add on your team, but the folks that genuinely want that feedback, and if the feedback's critical, they want to use that feedback to improve themselves. Those are the people that you want on your team. Those are the winners.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So what's important to most millennials? Of course, people are different, but...
Yeah, so millennials really want to see the impact that they're making in an organization. So the things that they're working on every day that they're in your organization, how does that tie into the organization's overall goals and mission and short and long-term strategies? So over communicating and being overly transparent about the impact that the team member has, I think, is important. And that's not just important to millennials, but I think it's especially important to millennials because the younger generations have grown up in the information age, and you know, with mobile devices and the internet, they have information at their fingertips. And so being able to get that instant gratification or that immediate feedback and immediate transparency is maybe a little more important than some of the older generations.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. They're also interested,
And,
like us.
hey, Rob, hold on. We're getting ready to take a break, but I think it's so important to understand what matters to people so that you can engage them where they are. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. So, or actually, yep, we will be right back. Remember, scorenashville.org.